My business partner told me, "You're not on the paperwork anymore." I smiled and said, "Congrats." Then I opened my email and forwarded one message. By lunch, everyone knew the truth. At 35, I was a mail account director in Portland, Maine. Landon Shaw, my business partner, was 39, and we'd built this for 4 years. My mortgage approval and a $9,200 earnest deposit were hanging by a thread. When he smeared my name to freeze my loan, I chose myself. I lived on Munjoy Hill, close to the water. My mornings started at 605 with a yellow legal pad. I wrote 3 priorities before my feet hit the floor. I liked clean lists and clean decisions. I carried a metallic red USB drive on my key ring. It was my tiny insurance policy. On weekdays, I walked down Congress Street by 710. I grabbed a $6 drip at Brickline Cafe. Then I opened our agency inbox. Our company was a small branding shop called Harbor Kite Studio. We rented a bright suite off Commercial Street. Rent was $39.50 a month, split down the middle. Landon handled charm and big talk. I handled timelines, contracts, and client calm. It wasn't glamorous, but it was steady. Miles Carter was my closest friend in town. He worked in underwriting support and loved spreadsheets. We met every Thursday at Dockside Noodle House. At 8:31 Monday, an offer email landed. The subject line made my hands go still. It was from Mainsail Health Systems in Providence, Rhode Island. The role was client operations lead. Salary was $152K plus a $12K annual bonus. Benefits started day 1 with a 5% match. I reread the details twice at Deering Oaks Park. My heart didn't race, it settled. This was the first offer that felt like safety. That night, Landon insisted we talk at Salt and Pine Bistro. We split a $42 meal and a $10 dessert. He stared at the printed offer like it offended him. "You think you can handle that job?" he asked. "I already handle more than this," I said. He laughed like a door slamming. "You're a glorified email babysitter," he said. "That's not accurate," I said. "It's cute you believe it," he said. I didn't try to win the moment. I slid the paper back into my messenger bag. I went home and updated my yellow legal pad. The condo I wanted was in East Bayside. The price was $418,000 and my lender was mid-review. I had already wired the $9,200 earnest deposit. I wanted a home with 1 extra room, a place for quiet and sunlight, a place where I could stop holding my breath. 2 days later, the first crack appeared. An email from a client came in at 918. The tone felt wrong. They asked why our finance situation looked unstable. They asked if I was still authorized to approve work. I read it twice, then once more. I called Landon at 926. He didn't pick up. I walked to his desk and found it empty. At 11:40, he finally appeared carrying takeout. He didn't look stressed. He looked pleased. "Did you tell clients something about me?" I asked. "I told them the truth," he said. "What truth?" I asked. He leaned back and smiled. "You're leaving, so they needed clarity," he said. "That's not clarity," I said. Landon's phone buzzed and he ignored it. He tapped my yellow legal pad with one finger. "You always write like that," he said. "It keeps projects clean," I said. "It makes you predictable," he said. That word landed like a warning. I went back to my desk and opened our HR portal. We used an outsourced service called PeopleSprout HR. I searched my name just to check. A ticket existed that I didn't create. The subject line said workplace misconduct concern. The number glared at me, HR ticket 7719. My stomach tightened, but my hands stayed steady. I snapped a photo and saved it. Then I typed the number on my yellow legal pad. At 205, my phone rang with an unfamiliar area code. It was my mortgage lender's underwriting department. I answered and stood up straight. "Mr. Price, this is Celine," the voice said. "We need to verify something urgent," she said. That call became the longest 14 minutes of my week. Celine spoke slowly, like she was reading a script. I could hear keyboard clicks in the background. We received a notice about an active investigation, she said. Investigation where? I asked. Your employer, she said. My throat dried out. I glanced at my metallic red USB drive on the desk. It looked small and helpless. Who contacted you? I asked. A principal at your company, she said. We have to pause the file, she added. I didn't beg and I didn't explode. I opened my yellow legal pad and wrote in block letters, pause file, source claim, next step. What do you need from me? I asked. Written clarification from the business, she said. Also proof of stable income, she said. I swallowed and kept my voice even. I can provide documents today, I said. Please do, she said, within 24 hours. When the call ended, I sat very still. The smear wasn't just gossip. It was a lever aimed at my future. I walked to Old Port to clear my head. Wind cut down Exchange Street around 420. I stood outside Harbor Light Market and breathed. My flaw showed up right then. I wanted to smooth it over. I wanted to assume it was a mistake. But HR Ticket 7719 wasn't a mistake, and my lender didn't invent that call. So I chose action over hope. At 505, I emailed People Sprout HR. I asked for the complaint details and intake method. They replied with an automated confirmation. The confirmation included a new number. HR Ticket 7724 was assigned to my response. I wrote it beside 7719 on my yellow legal pad. That evening, I met Miles at Dockside Noodle House. My bowl cost $19 and I barely tasted it. I told him the lender paused my file. Miles didn't flinch. That's defamation territory, he said. I know, I said. Do not talk yourself into silence, he said. I'm not, I said. I mean it, he said. When I got home, I used my metallic red USB drive. I saved copies of key emails and client invoices. I also saved the HR portal screenshots. I didn't touch anything that wasn't mine. I didn't delete, edit, or sabotage. I just preserved what already existed. By 930, I had a folder called Timeline. Inside were message timestamps and payment approvals. Everything was clean, and that mattered. The next morning, Landon acted normal. He asked if I wanted to grab pastries. His tone was sugary and fake. You called the lender, I said. He didn't blink. I protected the company, he said. You put my mortgage at risk, I said. You put yourself at risk, he said. You're dramatic, he added. I stared at him and felt something shift. Not anger, more like clarity. This wasn't about fear, it was about control. You also filed HR Ticket 7719, I said. He smiled a little wider. I filed a concern, he said. You lied, I said. He shrugged, slow and cold. You're replaceable, he said. That was insult number one and it stung, but it also simplified everything. I didn't need his approval, I needed protection. At noon, I walked to a small law office near Monument Square. The consult fee was $260 and I paid it. Ava Morno met me with calm eyes. Ava listened while I laid out my yellow legal pad. I showed her HR Ticket 7719 and HR Ticket 7724. I also handed her the metallic red USB drive. You did the right thing saving this, she said. Do you want revenge or relief? She asked. Relief, I said. She nodded once, like a decision clicking. We can do lawful pressure, she said. No threats, no noise, she said. Ava drafted 2 letters that same day. One went to People Sprout HR requesting records. One went to Landon demanding retraction and non-disparagement. She also told me to stop speaking with Landon alone. She said keep every conversation written. I wrote that on my yellow legal pad in thick ink. At 315, People Sprout HR replied with a summary. It listed the complaint allegations in vague terms. It also included a submission email address. That address belonged to Landon. The proof wasn't emotional, it was plain. I saved it to the metallic red USB drive. At 405, I emailed the lender exactly what Celine asked. I attached my last 6 pay stubs. I attached a letter from Ava. I also included a short statement. No drama, just facts and dates. I referenced HR ticket 7719 as disputed. Celine replied at 640. She said the file stayed paused pending verification. She requested a management letter from my employer. That was Landon's trap. He was the management voice. And he planned to keep it that way. So I created a second path. I contacted our accountant for payroll confirmations. I asked for a formal employment letter. The accountant refused at first. They said Landon instructed them not to. That gave me another data point. I wrote it all on my yellow legal pad. I added times, names, and numbers. Then I met Ava again on Friday. Ava didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. She sent a formal notice to our accountant. By that afternoon, the accountant released a basic letter. It confirmed my income and role. It did not mention any investigation. Ava forwarded that letter to Celine. She also included proof the HR complaint was disputed. She referenced HR ticket 7724 by number. On Saturday, I attended my condo's inspection. It was scheduled for 1020 in East Bayside. I showed up with my yellow legal pad and a calm face. The inspector pointed out minor issues: a loose outlet plate, a slow drain. Repairs were estimated at 430. I was still focused on one thing: could I keep this deal alive? Or would Landon steal it with lies? That night, I didn't sleep much. I kept replaying Landon's smile. It didn't feel like stress, it felt like sport. Monday morning, I walked into the office at 7:55. I found a new email sent from Landon to 2 clients. He called it a leadership update. He wrote that I was under review for misconduct. He wrote that all approvals should route through him. He signed it with our company name. I didn't reply to the clients in panic. I forwarded the email to Ava. I saved it to the metallic red USB drive. Then I opened a new HR ticket. I used PeopleSprout's portal and wrote clearly. The system assigned HR ticket 7731. I referenced HR ticket 7719 and HR ticket 7724. I included the client email as impact evidence. I kept my words plain and careful. At 11:30, Ava called me back. "I'm sending a demand for retraction today," she said. "I'm also proposing an exit agreement," she said. I didn't expect that part. I thought I'd fight to keep the business. Ava saw what I avoided. "You can't partner with someone who lies," she said. She was right, even if it hurt. I agreed to exit. That afternoon, I met Landon in a neutral spot. We sat at Wharfside Sandwich Co. on Commercial Street. The lunch bill was $28 and I paid my half. Landon arrived late on purpose. He set his phone face down like a weapon. He smiled like I was already beaten. "You're here to quit," he said. "I'm here to end the lies," I said. "You can't prove anything," he said. I placed my yellow legal pad on the table. I didn't shove it at him, I just opened it. "HR ticket 7719 was filed by you," I said. He laughed once. "Anyone could file a ticket," he said. "The email address is yours," I said. He leaned forward, eyes sharp. "You're obsessing," he said. "I'm documenting," I said. "You're a petty clerk," he said. That was insult number 2. I didn't take the bait. Ava's letter arrived in his inbox at 212. He checked his phone and his face changed. "What is this?" he asked. "It's your consequences," I said. He swallowed, then tried to recover. "You're going to ruin the company," he said. "You already tried ruining me," I said. He scoffed. "You won't win," he said. "I'm not playing your game," I said. He stared, then looked away. Landon's motives surfaced in fragments. He feared losing the agency control. He also feared his own sloppy billing would surface. He wanted a scapegoat with a clean reputation. I was neat, reliable, and easy to frame. He assumed I'd fold quietly. I didn't. I kept my voice low and steady. I gave him 2 choices. "Retract and sign the exit agreement," I said. "Or we continue through counsel," I said. He smirked, but weaker. "You think you're important," he said. "I'm important to my life," I said. Then I stood up and left. By 5:30, the retraction email went out. It was short and awkward. Clients noticed the shift right away. People Sprout HR sent a notice the next day. They requested a documentation package from Landon. They copied me under HR ticket 7731. That was the payoff moment. He couldn't control the process anymore. The system had a trail. Celine emailed me at 9:10 that same morning. She said the underwriting pause was lifted. My file moved back into review. I walked down 4th Street and felt my shoulders drop. For the first time in days, my breathing felt normal. I bought a $5 pastry just because I could. 2 weeks later, I closed on the condo. Closing costs were $86.40 and I had budgeted it. Miles stood outside with me, grinning. "You kept your deposit," he said. "I kept my name," I said. He clapped my shoulder once. My exit from Harbor Kite Studio finalized soon after. Ava negotiated a clean separation contract. It included a mutual non-disparagement clause. Landon paid me $62,000 for my share. Not generous, not insulting. Fair enough to leave without a war. I started my new job in Providence the following month. The first week included 3 days of onboarding. My badge photo made me look too serious. I rented a small place near Federal Hill. Rent was $21.50 and the train ride felt new. Every night I updated my yellow legal pad. At work, I built a client renewal system in 9 days. It reduced missed follow-ups by 18%. My manager praised me in a team meeting. I didn't gloat. I didn't call Landon to rub it in. I just kept moving. Back in Portland, consequences spread on their own. A client asked why Landon's update contradicted the retraction. Another client requested contract audits. People Sprout HR closed HR ticket 7719 as unsubstantiated. They marked HR ticket 7724 as resolved in my favor. HR ticket 7731 stayed archived as supporting documentation. Those numbers mattered more than feelings. They were proof without theatrics. They were the quiet kind of truth. Landon tried to contact me twice. He used different tones each time. First angry, then sweet. He called me while I was walking Benefit Street in Providence. It was 625 and the air smelled like rain. I let it go to voicemail. He showed up a week later anyway. He waited outside my new office lobby. He looked tired, not powerful. "Can we talk?" he asked. "Send it in writing," I said. "I need your help," he said. "What kind of help?" I asked. "Clients want audits," he said. "They think I'm dishonest." I kept my voice neutral. "You earned their doubt," I said. "I can't fix your choices," I said. He stepped closer, then stopped himself. "Just tell them I'm fine," he said. "I won't speak for you," I said. Landon's face tightened. "You're spiteful," he said. "No," I said. "I'm finished." I walked past him and didn't look back. No scene, no shouting, just a clean end. Near the end of that season, Ava emailed my final paperwork. I saved it to my metallic red USB drive. Then I locked it in a drawer. Invoice, Morno Legal, Settlement Review and Drafting, 1450 email subject, Loan file reopened, Conditions updated date, 05/18. People Sprout HR closed ticket 7719 a year later. I owned the condo and felt no fear inside it. My salary had climbed to $164K after a merit review. I took a weekend trip back to Maine for the ocean air. I walked the Eastern Promenade at 7:30. The wind hit my face like a reset button. I didn't miss the chaos. That evening, Landon sent one final message. It was the closest thing to honesty I'd seen from him. "I'm sorry for lying about you," he wrote. "I wanted control and I panicked," he wrote. "You didn't deserve that," I replied with one sentence. "Apology accepted, but we won't reconnect." I learned a hard truth about quiet people like me. Silence can look like permission to the wrong person. My boundary rule now is simple. Every partnership needs written protections early. If I could redo anything, I'd challenge the first small lie. I used to wait for things to calm down on their own. Now I act while I'm still calm. That's how I keep my peace and my future.